Kelly looked into the camera, smiled like always, then her voice cracked. She whispered, "This might be my last show," and the studio froze. Millions were watching live, yet no one understood what was happening. The lights stayed bright, the band stayed quiet, and Kelly's eyes searched the room like she was asking for help without saying it. Something was wrong, and everyone could feel it through the screen. Even the host beside her stopped breathing for a moment there. If you feel the tension already, stay with us, and gently support the story by subscribing below right now, please. Kelly had hosted this talk show for 15 years, sharing laughs, tears, and quiet truths with her audience. She was known for control, for never breaking on air, no matter what happened behind the scenes. But that day felt different from the start. Staff members avoided eye contact. The producer kept checking his phone. A guest was canceled without explanation. Kelly arrived early, sat alone in her dressing room, and stared at her reflection like she was meeting a stranger. Rumors had been circling for weeks about fights, contracts, and voices raised behind closed doors. Kelly never spoke about them. She believed problems stayed private. When the countdown began, she took a breath and walked on stage, choosing professionalism over fear. Yet deep inside, something heavy pressed against her chest, warning her that today would not end like the others. Her hands shook slightly as applause filled the room, and the familiar music sounded distant and unreal. She smiled anyway, because smiling had always been her safest armor on television. But tonight, even that armor felt thin and fragile to her. Halfway through the show, Kelly missed a cue. It was small, almost invisible, but the crew noticed. She laughed it off, yet her eyes kept drifting off camera, toward someone standing in the shadows. A note was placed on her desk. She read it, folded it slowly, and slipped it under her mug. Her voice stayed steady, but her rhythm changed. Questions came out late. Jokes landed flat. During a commercial break, microphones caught whispers of disagreement, sharp and rushed. When the show returned, Kelly's hands were clasped tightly, knuckles white. Viewers started posting messages, asking if she was okay. The host beside her leaned closer, trying to help, but Kelly barely heard him. Her thoughts raced. Years of effort, loyalty, and silence suddenly felt pointless. The pressure built with every passing second. She realized the words she had buried for so long were rising fast, and there might be no stopping them once they reached her lips. The studio air felt thick. Even the audience shifted uneasily, sensing a crack forming in the polished surface. Producers waved frantically, but Kelly no longer followed signals. Her heartbeat drowned out everything else. She was reaching a breaking point, live on air with no safe exit left. The moment hovered, trembling seconds away from becoming unforgettable television history for everyone watching together. Then Kelly stopped mid-sentence. The smile vanished. She looked straight ahead and spoke without reading. She said she was tired of pretending everything was fine. She said she felt unheard, trapped, and pushed to keep going no matter the cost. The studio went silent. No applause, no music, just breathing. Someone off camera tried to interrupt, but Kelly raised her hand. She said, "This might be my last show," and her voice shook as truth spilled out. Tears filled her eyes, but she did not wipe them away. The host froze beside her. Cameras kept rolling. In that raw moment, the show was no longer entertainment. It was a confession, unplanned and irreversible. Kelly stood up, removed her microphone, and walked off the stage, leaving stunned faces behind her. Behind the scenes, chaos erupted, but viewers only saw an empty chair and blinking lights. Social media exploded within seconds. Some praised her courage. Others demanded answers. The silence felt louder than shouting. No one knew whether to cut the feed or wait. In control rooms, executives stared at screens, realizing a line had been crossed forever. Kelly's footsteps echoed down the hallway, carrying years of pressure with them. She did not look back, and no one tried to stop her leaving. The broadcast hung unfinished in stunned silence worldwide. After the cameras went dark, questions remained unanswered. Was it a goodbye or a breaking pause? No official statement came that night. Fans waited, refreshing screens, replaying the moment again and again. Kelly did not return to the stage. The next morning, the set was quiet, her chair empty, her future unclear. Some said she was brave. Some said she went too far. But everyone agreed on one thing. Nothing would ever feel the same again. And as the days passed, the silence around her absence grew heavier. No one knew if she would come back tomorrow. The audience was left holding a story without an ending, waiting for a sign or a word. Until then, the moment stays frozen in memory, a reminder of how fragile live truth can be. Whether Kelly returns or not, her silence now speaks louder than any monologue. And viewers everywhere wait, hoping tomorrow brings clarity, healing, or at least honesty. The story is not over yet, and neither is the feeling inside. For more emotional updates, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.